I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm in my hoe phase right now. Happiness over everything. Where's your mind?
I love when people ask me, like, what do you got going on tonight? I'm going to be in bed. I'm going to be horizontal. I'm going to be watching my big screen while also looking at my little screen at the same time with my snackies. I am for the sheets, not the streets.
You know, I have to give it to Tia Mowry. She really knows how to stay in headlines and keep everybody talking. I mean, not only has she been incredibly vocal about her, quote, graduation, unquote, since the graduation from her marriage, she has been living out loud this entire time, talking about her single life journey, her self-love journey, her journey towards herself, her journey towards understanding herself, trying to find herself, and also wanting to find love. But despite her best efforts to live and grow and evolve and live out the best, most happiest, most joyful and fulfilling version of herself, she is in stark comparison to her ex-husband, who recently came out and finally shared his perspective of the whole situation. Check it out.
You know, it's tough when it feels like you're going through something alone and no one understands, and no one's there for you, and it's just like, when you're a man, especially a black man, you're like, oh, he's tough, he's strong, but it was a year and a half crying myself to sleep every night. Nobody see that.
Yeah.
Nobody see that.
Yeah.
You live 5 minutes away from your babies, you know what I'm saying? Because people who know Cory Hardrict know that his kids and his family was everything to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Okay.
I'm really stronger. And that's about the race. It's like, I'm here and I'm still going.
It takes a lot for a man to open up about something so vulnerable. He's obviously been very quiet up to this point, very private on how he handled the entire thing, and I think overall quite mature in how he handled the situation. So I truly wish him the best. But despite his struggles, Tia Mowry is going on to bigger and better things. Or is she?
All right, guys, what's up? I'm going to try to do something different on my Instagram. I have entered the dating scene, and I thought that as I take off my makeup, I would share some of my horror stories. Of course, no names will be named. I decided to go out on this date with this one guy. We decided to meet at a restaurant, and I was like, okay, fine, let's try that. What could go wrong? Now, mind you, I did know what this person looked like beforehand. Oh my God, I'm getting PTSD just telling this story. This is my life. So he ends up showing up, and he's a lot shorter than I thought that he was going to be, which was pretty interesting, but no judgment here. But what was surprising to me was he ended up showing up with a grill in his mouth to a dinner. So the first thing that I'm thinking about as he sits down to order his food is, oh my God, where is this grill going to go? Oh my goodness. He's just ordering drinks and all of that. Great, awesome. He orders his food. And then again, I'm just really trying to figure out, where is he going to put this grill? So our food finally comes to the table. And again, I'm just like, okay, where is this grill gonna go? And I was like, no, he's not just gonna take it out of his mouth and just put it on the table. Guess what? He took it out of his mouth and he put it on the table. Right there on the table. I mean, at least he had a napkin, right? But still, you guys, like, what the hell? Like, really, bro? How old are we? That is just, I don't know. It was just surprising and a little tasteless, in my opinion. It was gross. You know what I mean? Like, this is like your first date. It's like first impressions. You know what I mean? And he just decides to put this grill right on the table as we eat. And as we're eating, I'm just like, At that moment, I truly wish that I had been on a speed date, you know, when you can just tap out. But unfortunately, I couldn't. It was a dinner and it went on longer than I wanted it to. Girls, let me know in the comments if I am like overreacting. If you're like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with a little grill on the table. After that experience, I did start to see that people are wearing more grills these days. I guess, I don't know, am I out of sync or out of touch? I don't know. Would y'all ever see me with a grill? So that was the first interesting date. I've realized that this is a part of the journey. You know what I mean? This is all a process, and this is what I didn't, go through in my 20s. It's been interesting, but it's also been fun getting to know me, getting to know what it is that, I like and what it is that I don't like. It's just a process. Love you guys. Mwah.
As you can see, dating life is not as easy as it seems, but I think there are a few things we can learn from Tia Mowry living so out loud. First things first, dating life is tough. Even if you are a young single woman with no kids, who's never been married, no bodies, a virgin, whatever, dating life today can be kind of challenging because there's weird, creepy people out there. But add to that a divorce and kids and then a really, really, really public job, one such as Tia Mowry, that's going to make dating life very complicated, especially when you had a very public divorce that everybody knew about. Secondly, the fact that she's matching with these guys of such poor quality also goes back to how difficult the dating market can be, especially for mature women with kids. This is not to say that older, mature women don't have value, but it's to be honest about what men really want, right? And I think we all pretty much can accept that, generally speaking, the things that men are looking for is fertility, youth, discretion, lack of experience, not lack of intellect, but men don't want a whole bunch of different bodies, stability, all things that men are looking for. The older a woman gets, when she has more kids, when she's, divorced, when she has such a public career and all the success, those can be beautiful things that make a person more valuable as an individual. But when it comes to dating and mating, it just doesn't necessarily have any value. And so the fact that you have this really successful woman who is matching with guys who are arguably lying on their profile or whatever, and putting grills in their teeth, in their 40s, again, speaks to not only how difficult the dating market is, but it also speaks to how challenging it can be when you are more mature. Because a lot of the successful men around her age are probably also themselves married. Or if they are not married, there's a good portion of them who are interested in women who are significantly younger, who don't have kids, who aren't divorced, whatever. So there's all those things to consider. The competition is pretty fierce. So again, it's not saying that you can find love when you get more mature, but it's just more complicated. And I don't think there's really any way around it. Another thing to consider, if you are on a self-love journey and want to remain on the self-love journey, don't get married. Just don't get married, okay? Because marriage is not about self. It's no longer about like he or she or him or me. It's we. Mindset completely has to shift when you become married. And I think one issue that people have is that they get married, but they still have a single mindset, right? They get married, but they still want to make it about them first. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. When you are a marriage, it no longer becomes about my preference or his preferences. What preferences do we both have? How do we work together? And that's going to require sacrifice on the side of both people. Selfishness pretty much has to die, right? And I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's an ongoing thing. So if a person is really into this self-love journey, I want to put myself first and me first and my needs, my wants, my desires, whatever. If that's you, fine, don't get married, because it's not going to work very well in a marriage. And the thing is, we never really know what's going on in other people's marriage. We won't fully know what's going on between Tia Mowry and her now ex-husband. We don't fully know. But what I can say is that this is yet another example of not only how devastating marriage can be, if at the very least for one person, but secondly, how difficult it can be in the dating market. Love is a gift from God. It doesn't just come around so quickly. And so even if you're the most beautiful, lovely, mature person, you've taken care of your body, whatever, love is not anything that just pops up there. So if you found it in your life, you want to value it. And it's one of those things that are worth fighting for. One thing I don't like about Hollywood is how they promote divorce as if it's not a big deal. We see marriages all the time. We see divorces all the time. And we also see how Hollywood likes to promote and push women post-divorce as if it's like a rebirthing. And I'm like, divorce is traumatizing. Why are we lying to people? Like, this is not a beautiful, I'm stronger, I'm better. It's like people are broken from divorces. I always wonder if there's incentive for them to do this because there's a multi-million-dollar industry behind the divorce, the divorce court. So it could be connected to that, but just either way, it's not anything beautiful. And so love doesn't come easily, and it's definitely something worth fighting for. Because as I mentioned before, keeping a single mindset in a marriage is the worst way to be. Anyways, those are my thoughts.